Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Red and White Show. Joining me for this one and to preview the first game of 2023, Rovers midfielder Harrison Biggins and Club Doncaster media manager Liam Hoden. Big O, football goes so quickly, doesn't it? We're already set for the first game of the new year. A big chance to put a bit of a marker down early on.
Yeah, definitely. Like you say, it does go quick. It don't feel like 2 minutes ago since we was coming in for pre-season, doing all the runs and what have you, ready for the season ahead. But like you say, we're at the new year already, and this is our chance now to start picking up points.
Not much time to really enjoy Christmas as a footballer, is there? You're always somewhere on the road or playing a game here, there and everywhere. How have you found, though, being back at home for Christmas after a few years away? Yeah,
it's a hectic time. It always is around Christmas with the games and training and what have you. But first time being home at Christmas, spending it with the family. So yeah, we was in Christmas Day morning. We got the training session done, and then it was some nice family time in the afternoon.
I suppose you didn't have too long a trip back after training either, did you? You could, 20 minutes?
Yeah, it was all right. I've been in before Christmas Day, and I've been sat on the motorway for a couple of hours after trying to get home, and then sat on the motorway at the night back up to where I used to live. So no, it was a lot more relaxed this time, and it was nice to spend some time with family.
Is it a different feel around the training ground when you're in on Christmas morning as well? Does it seem different, or is it just another day at the office for the lads?
Yeah, it is a little bit different. I think you wake up Christmas Day and it's a little bit unusual waking up to go to work, but we know that it's sort of planning towards the next game and the Boxing Day game. Unfortunately, that didn't go to plan, but we had to come in and prepare as we always do.
How much frustration was there within the camp with that Tranmere game? This, of course, filmed prior to the Rochdale game, just after the Tranmere fixture. So the way that game went, particularly a goal just before half-time, if you'd have gone in at 0-0, you'd have probably said, listen, it's there for the taking, wouldn't you, in the second half? Yeah, definitely. We started really well. The first 5 or 10 minutes, we started similar to the Grimsby game, where we was right after them. We had a couple of chances, or a couple of half chances, but the difference was we scored within that spell at Grimsby, which settled us down. And then the Tranmere game, obviously, unfortunately, we went 1-0 down at the break, and then it was we was constantly chasing the game. So yeah, it was a frustrating game, to be honest. Yeah, Liam, it was a game, wasn't it? You're going into it. Tranmere had not won in 10 or 11 games going into it, and I think the sort of analogy was that Rovers gave them a bit of oxygen, didn't they, and a bit of a chance to breathe in that first half. After that bright start, that was a disappointing factor that they couldn't quite build on that.
That's right, and obviously going one behind, it gave them something to protect, and they protected it really well. Tranmere set up really well in terms of stifling Rovers, preventing them from building attacking play in particular. So it was a frustrating afternoon all in all.
How quickly do you have to pick yourselves up during the Christmas period? Normally you'd have the day off afterwards, and then you'd be back in. But I think you were straight in, weren't you, the day after Boxing Day?
Yeah, we're straight in. Yeah. Preparing for the next game now, and it's going to be that way. It's going to be that way throughout for the next few games now. Sort of finishing one game and bouncing into the next. But that's obviously, it was a disappointing day at Tranmere, and that's the good thing now that we've got a game just around the corner to put it right.
Time for the latest quickfire round now. Then, our last guest on the show, Tom Anderson, is next up.
Hi, Tom Anderson, and I'm 29 years old. Born and raised Burnley born and bred. A team called Pendle Forest, local team. My dad was based with the manager and just got playing with him. I started off in net and then got bored, and then been centre half ever since. Obviously, being the centre half, I think John Terry. I think I actually quite admire Harry Maguire. I think he takes a lot of stick whenever certainly when he played for England in this World Cup. I think he applied himself brilliantly. I think, like I said there, he gets a lot of unwanted criticism, or like he doesn't deserve it. But I think if I go on anyone, I think for what he does in football and what he does outside of the game, I'd say Jordan Henderson. I think he's a good role model to a lot of young lads out there. If you want to be a good professional in and outside of the football club, he's a good person to look at. Probably one in training. dived the ball, come over my shoulder and then just volleyed it straight in laces, celebrating, shirt off, everything. I quite love an Italian, whether that's pasta, pizza, full shebang as well, 3 course. I've got a few. Probably a Domino's pizza with the cookies as well after. I say I got 2, either heights or the dark. Don't like either. Used to play a lot of tennis when I was younger, or a bit of a different one. Both my parents were music teachers, so I played quite a few instruments when I was the best one was clarinet, and then I was half decent at saxophone as well. Either tennis or rugby, I quite like watching rugby, but I'll probably go tennis. Just finished The Crown, the last season of The Crown, which I like, very juicy. So I've got quite a big variety of that. Stick on a playlist and anything can come on. Yeah, I like a bit of anything, a bit of indie, a bit of R&B, you know. Whatever gets you going, gets you dancing. I don't know if this is a good thing to admit or not, but it could have been Lady Chatterley's Lover, I think it were, on Netflix. Ryan Gosling. I used to say I look like him a little bit, when my nose was straight. My honeymoon to Turkey. Final. Because I lack it a little bit in life, speed. Crash Bandicoot PS1, I think it were. Used to love it. Not played it since really, since I stopped making it. Oh, I think I said it there about my super power being speed. I'd take Joel over speed all day.
Liam, Tom going for Ryan Gosling as his celebrity lookalike, or the man who play him in a movie about his life. We'll put the pressure on you a little bit. What do you make to that one?
Well, he tried to put that on his missus, didn't he? They're saying that she'd come up with that, and before he's had a couple of broken noses. But I can kind of see a little bit where he's coming from. It looks like Ryan Gosling's been put through the Hollywood sort of transformation machine and started out as Tom Anderson. So a little bit of sympathy with him for that one.
Big O, he says there that John Taylor's his best mate in football, and it's been a rough few days for Tails as well, hasn't he, picking up that injury at Tranmere, still to find out the full extent of it. But as well as Tom and driving in with him, how important is it that everybody rallies around Tails, given the difficult period he's had over the past 18 months or so?
Yeah, no, it's been a tough time for Tails. Everyone thinks an awful lot of him around the place, so it's never nice to see someone get injured, but that's a chance now for us to stick with him and send him our regards, and hopefully it's a quick recovery.
Liam, it was so innocuous, wasn't it? He wasn't even involved in the challenge. It was between a Tranmere player and Adam Clayton, and then Tails not even looking at it, gets the sort of bad end of it. And as soon as he was down and sort of slamming the turf in frustration, you sensed it wasn't a good one.
No, it's certainly not great to see that with Tails, and he's had such awful luck. I mean, there's been times when the questions over whether he's come back too soon, or was he physically ready to come back. This were nothing. This were completely innocuous, as you said, not involved in the even sort of the coming together of players, and he's ended up with what looks to be quite a serious injury, and you really feel for him for everything that he's been through.
Now Rovers will have a special mascot on New Year's Day. 7-year-old Ife will be walking out with the players when they take on Carlisle. Donny Dog visited him and his classmates to deliver the news.
What's your name? Doggy Dog. Can I have a hug?
Our turn to tell your button, please.
I've actually come to see Iffy. Yeah, is that you? Do you want to come up? Because you met Joseph a while ago, didn't you? Yeah, and he came round and brought you a shirt. Well, Joseph, I've got a little surprise for you. Unfortunately, he couldn't be here today because he's injured. But he would like you to be the mascot for our game against Carlisle United on January the 1st.
Yeah.
So you're going to get to walk out with Joseph, fingers crossed if he's not injured, or at least one of the other players. So Donny, can I high five? Yeah. So we've got a letter for you to take home to your parents. That's signed by Joseph and it's signed by Donny Dog. Yeah? So we'll have a lady contact your parents, so get your email address of the school and we'll contact your parents to give you more details because we'll need your photograph and stuff for the programme, yeah? You know how cool's that? So you're going to bring us luck for that game, yeah? But we've got another little surprise as well because we've got free tickets for all your classmates to come along and watch as well, yeah? So we've got some tickets here for you, so Donny Dog's got some tickets. We've reserved some seats in the family stand for you. And we've got some letters as well that explains to your parents, we've got free tickets and they can come along as well, but we've got cheaper tickets for them as well. Yeah? So we've got a ticket and a letter for you each to take home to your parents, so then you can all come and watch Iffy when he's the mascot. Is it, how cool's that, yeah? Would you like to do that?
Yeah! Now, that's a mascot.
In display. It came to your house, you're a lucky boy.
Yes.
Don't worry, okay. I'll personally put that in your bag now, okay, so it doesn't get lost, okay?
See you soon, eh? You're for only a few weeks, isn't it?
Special day, it's giving Iffy some tickets and
Liam, Iffy has had a busy few weeks, hasn't he? A visit from Joseph Hollow. I suppose the only disappointment for him is that Joseph won't be involved on New Year's Day to walk out with.
Yeah, and then Joseph's obviously gutted about that himself, not being involved in that. It's been a great story, you know, how this has all played out from that first visit that Joseph made to his school and the impact that had on Iffy and the impact that Iffy's reaction had on Joseph. So it'll be great, and Joseph will be along to be with him on the day, and it'll be a good afternoon for him.
Yeah, the pair of them had a real bond from the off. It was the All Over Doncaster Day in September, wasn't it? And Joseph visited his school, Mount Carmel, and since then Joseph's spoken a lot about him and the impact he had. Yeah,
I think it all goes back to the fact that Iffy was so taken aback to see a player of the same race, you know, somebody coming into school of the same race to visit, and that really touched Joseph in terms of a lad as young as that being aware of the significance of that. And you know, it as I say, really touched Joseph, and he's wanted to do all he can to build that bond with Iffy, and it'll be great on New Year's Day.
Biggo, we've all been there as young fans, haven't we? And when you get a chance to be a mascot, it's sort of surreal, isn't it? You'll have seen so many young supporters come into the dressing room this season and ask for autographs and photographs as well. And I suppose you, as players before the game, you've just got to take those few moments, haven't you, to make their day as special as you can. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like you say, we've all been there as young lads, and it makes your day, whether it be only a couple of minutes speaking to them, an autograph or a picture or whatever. They'll go and speak about that for a long time probably. And I've seen a lot of what Joe's doing, to be fair, on social media and the videos, and no, credit to him, it's been great.
I suppose the older generation of fans, a lot that were at Tranmere, frustrated with how it went and frustrated with a couple of results recently, but it's important to stress that frustration is shared within here, isn't it, within the four walls of the dressing room?
Yeah, 100%, yeah. Obviously, everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I think we're all on the same wavelength at the moment. It's been frustrating. There has been a lack of inconsistency, so it's tough at the minute, and it is a building phase where we are trying something what the manager's brought in, but hopefully in the new year we start to pick up more positive results back to back.
Yeah, now Kyle Noyle's had a busy end to 2022, both on and off the field, and he's already looking forward to what the new year may bring.
Only third game in 6 days coming up against Carlisle on New Year's Day. How's this Christmas period been? Your first as a dad, I'm guessing it's been very busy for you.
Yeah, it's been a busy Christmas. It's been a special one for me, spending it with family and obviously the little one. So yeah, I've really enjoyed it, and yeah, extra special getting that win against Rochdale as well.
What's it been like for you and your partner? I suppose when you're playing 3 games in 6 days, your eyes always got to be on football, but now you've got something else to think about, haven't you?
Yeah, I mean, busy period. It's just switching on and off. When I get home, I switch off from football, and as soon as I come back into work, just my football head on and get going again. But it's all part of it. I'm enjoying both sides to it. So yeah.
In terms of 2023, people always say that they set New Year's resolutions or set themselves goals. How do you sort of look at it? Are you someone who takes it as it comes and just sees what it's like week by week and day by day, or do you set yourselves those targets early on?
Well, I set my targets at the start of the season, but definitely as I've grown older, you just take it week by week sort of thing. And big ambitions for 2023, both personally and collectively.
How much confidence can the team take from that win over Rochdale, particularly the way it's come as well, being in front 3 times, being pegged back and having to show the character to go again and get the 3 points? Yeah,
it was important to bounce back from the Tranmere game, but we showed different sides to us today and showed that we can battle and we can back each other up out there and show great resilience, especially Tom, our skipper.
Liam Noiley says there he's had a busy end to the year. Of course, the birth of his little girl and plenty of games to end the calendar year as well. Big chance this one for him and the rest of the team to start the year off well. Yeah, he'll be looking to kick on and carry on from what that great formula has produced. It seems to have coincided with the birth of his daughter as well, when he's kind of really kicked on and shown that attacking threat, even from that right centre half position that he started in the last couple of games. A big few months ahead for him. You know, last time we were in this division, he was the leading right back in the division. He'll be looking to do the exact same again, and Rovers as well, pushing on, kicking on, and clawing that gap back to the top 7. Biggo, before you look ahead to the new year, how do you reflect on 2022 personally? You've of course moved closer to home and got a few more goals under your belt at your new club.
Obviously finished 5 years at my old club in the summer, which I enjoyed a lot of good times there, met a lot of good people, but like you say, I moved back home in the summer, which was always the plan, and I've spoke a lot about wanting to move back this summer, and like I said, I've been grateful enough to join this club, and I've enjoyed the start. Personally, I've played a lot of games, started to get a few goals, and hopefully I can improve in the new year. Are you the sort of person to set goals or make New Year resolutions when the clock strikes 12 on the 31st, or is it sort of take it as it goes? No, it is pretty much take it as it comes, yeah. Personally, I just want to stay fit, stay available for selection and play as many games as I can, and hopefully come May we've been successful. And like Liam says, in the next few months we start pushing for the top 7. Liam, Carlisle, the first test of the year then, a side who've improved remarkably, haven't they, since Paul Simpson returned there, beat Rovers 3-0 in October, and a real contender for promotion this time around. Yeah, I think obviously they'd had quite a few years in this division where they were expected to be pushing for promotion. This year probably not that, and they've surprised a lot of people, playing some good football. He's really, I think it's one of them places, it's up there, it's out on its own. When things are really going well, it captures the imagination of a whole town, and that certainly seems to be the case there. Very difficult afternoon for Rovers earlier on in the season up at their place, but I feel confident that Rovers are a lot stronger at this stage, a lot better organised than they were on that day, and I can't see the sort of same again. Do you feel you owe Carlisle a performance worthy of yourselves, if that makes sense? They didn't see the best of you in the return fixture, did they? No, they didn't. No, we got turned over that day, and that was another disappointing day. But like you say, it's when you've had them results in the past, probably the Mansfield one similar and the Tranmere one similar. The next time they come around, the games that you really want to go and turn them over. It's the final game of the Christmas week, Liam, and that third one, I think Tom said, didn't he, when he was on the show, that's the one where you used the most adrenaline. The middle one can be tough sometimes to go again, but the third one, once it's there, you're just relying on your body to get you through anyway. Yeah, I think it's all been about just kind of making sure the players are recovered in between matches, and getting into that final game in the best possible condition that they can. And it's obviously been the same for Carlisle. So again, you look who makes the best start on the day. I'll probably stand them in good stead. How important is the squad at this time of the year? Biggo, you'll have been involved in teams in the past where you're going to have to rotate, aren't you? And there's going to be one or two bodies that can't make all 3 games, as we saw with Tails, and then Hursty comes on and has to take his opportunity. There's going to be plenty of that, isn't there, over this next few days? Yeah, definitely. Obviously this time, the Christmas period more than ever, because the games come so thick. But all season, I think throughout the season, there's going to be swaps. There's going to be swaps within the team that played the previous game, and I think the Gaffer's brought a real togetherness in. That everyone's prepared throughout the week, preparing for the next game, and if you are playing, then you're ready to go out there and put a performance in, and if you're not, then you're ready to come on and help the team. So yeah, I think everyone's mentally ready for it and physically ready for the games coming up.
How big a boost would it be, both physically and mentally, to get one over Carlisle? First game of the year against a team pushing for the playoffs. If you could pick up 3 points, that'd be massive, wouldn't it?
Yeah, definitely. If we were to turn a team over that doing so well like that, it'll give the squad a great belief going into the games after that. But yeah, to start off New Year with a win would be great on the first day.
Liam, how do you see this one going? A tough test, isn't it? Tough one to call.
It is a tough one. You know, it would be great to kick off the new year with a win. I think it'll be tight. You know, a really competitive one in this one, a lot closer than the previous game. So I think I'd probably go for a draw in this one, maybe 2-2.
Liam, big up. Thank you for your company. Thank you at home for watching on as well. We'll see you down here on Sunday, the first game of 2023 as Rovers take on Carlisle United.